Hello, welcome to Mindful Musings. I'm Dee Dee, your host. How are you today? It is Tuesday, December 2nd, and the weather report here in Kansas, at least the Kansas City area where I am, we actually had, I think it's officially like 4 inches, but no, I think it was closer to like 5, or maybe 6 inches of snow yesterday. It was one of those beautiful powdery kind of snows. So it was just gorgeous. I know my bird feeders. That's why I know it was more than 4 inches. It was up to that much, however much that is, because I went out this morning and was taking a brush and brushing off all of that snow before it starts melting and then gets wet and gets heavy and Anyway, I digress. It's a beautiful day out because the sun is out and it is reflecting off the light of the snow, and what an adventure. And what was just coming in as I was saying that is, it still always amazes me. I know it's kind of silly, but when there is a blanket of snow outside at night, how it's not dark. How I can be looking out there and I can still see everything because of the reflection of the light. Even though it's dark, there is light being reflected back. Ooh, pretty deep, huh? Kind of like what we do. There may be darkness all around us, but we are reflecting the light so that we can see and that others can see their way as well. So I think that's just pretty powerful. Anyway, if you don't know me, this is kind of what I do, is just a stream of consciousness. I'm a sound bowl practitioner and energy alchemist, meaning that I work with energy and chakras, all that good stuff, and an intuitive. And I'm basically a crone, elder, just because of my years of experience. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily wise. Let me get that clear. It just means I've experienced a lot, and I'm maybe a little more easygoing now, a little more open and receptive than perhaps in my youth when I thought I was right. Isn't that amazing how we all have to go through that phase? At least I think most of us go through that phase of being absolutely right and correct and what I think is the only way, And it's not. We are all on our individual paths, and what we believe, and that makes it true for us. Doesn't make it true for anyone else necessarily. But I think the older we get, or maybe it's just more life experience we get, the more we realize that there are so many other options and truths available out there, and that we perceive our life through our own lens, which is one reason we do so much work on ourselves, so that we're not continuing to see through the lens of woundedness. Rather, we can start seeing through the eyes of soul, of compassion, of love. Whereas before, maybe we saw everything through that wounded perspective. And that's just something to remember, that everyone is going through their own journey. And it's not linear. It probably is more cyclical, more spiral, if it even looks like that. And it's not stagnant. just because, I think I healed that. Well, guess what? It's going to come back up in my face just to make sure, or to allow the healing to take place on a higher level, a higher frequency. And it all starts with awareness, being aware of how we're viewing life and what lens are we perceiving life through. And we all have been working very, very diligently on integrating our shadow aspects, the part of ourselves that we have disowned. And remember, that which is shadow simply has forgotten that it is light. Even shadow is an expression of consciousness. It is consciousness that has forgotten its light. So remember, everything contains that spark of light, the spark of divine. Just sometimes forget that. Then it doesn't mean it's bad. That's a human egoic judgment we've placed on it. It just simply is what it is. But, well, that's interesting. I don't know where that exactly came from, but apparently that's what was coming through at this moment. Because I was going to say, I really don't. That's the thing, is when I sit down here, I never know what is going to come through or what stream of consciousness where it's going to take us. And that makes it kind of a fun journey. And so I appreciate you being with me on this journey. And I did want to extend a heartfelt to any of you who may be going through challenges right now. Know you are loved. Know you are guided. Know you are protected. And please, everyone, remember that as we face challenges, what we perceive to be challenges or obstacles in the road, it is not a punishment. The divine does not punish. That is our perception of what happens. What happens just happens, and it's how we respond to it. That is part of our life experience and our ability to learn and to grow and to expand. So I encourage all of us, even those, especially those of us who are going through challenging times, whether it's with family members, health issues, just struggling with the world being the way it is in the 3D. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself and compassionate. And remember to come back to your sovereign space so that you don't absorb the negativity. You just let it be. Accept it because it's there. And remember, acceptance doesn't mean we like it or we condone it. It just means we're not going to mess up our energy, mess up our sovereignty by giving that any of our energy, any of our attention. It's going to play out however it plays out. We are only in charge of how we respond and how we are with ourselves. And coming back to that place of love and harmony and balance and compassion. That place of sacred witnessing, of compassionate detachment. That's how we're going to get through these days. And I know the holidays can be extra challenging for some. Because not only are you dealing with all of that no drama in that 3D chaos as evolution. We also deal with our own expectations of how we are supposed to relate to the holidays. Whether it's, oh, I must be cheery, or I must spend more than I'm budgeted for, or the pressure of being a perfect hostess, being of holiday cheer. We just are what we are. We're experiencing whatever we experience. Please do yourself a favor and jump off of that hamster wheel of doing all the time, and trying to prove your value, and to demonstrate your worth, and to be everything to everyone, and forget yourself along the way. Those are some of the conditionings that have been placed upon us, and we have placed upon ourselves, especially during the holiday season. And it robs us of our peace and of our health and our balance. So, one trick that I have learned, that's a very simple trick. I know yesterday's video I was talking about checking in with yourself a minimum of 3 times a day, getting grounded, center of the head. Yes, absolutely, let's do that. Also, what can help is, placing a hand over your stomach, feeling the breath as you inhale through the nose, exhale. Remember, focusing on your breath allows you to become present in your body. And then place your other hand over your heart. Just spend a few minutes throughout the day for this very quick pick-me-up, tune-up that can allow you to come back to a place of calm, that can allow you to get off of that revolving hamster wheel and to come into a place of stillness. You're not trying to control your thought, not trying to control your breath. You simply just be and observe. Observe your breath, observe your thoughts, but taking a few moments periodically throughout the day can assist greatly in calming the nervous system so that we're not constantly in that fight or flight and that high adrenal glands on fire all the time. That's very common during the holidays, especially because we're assaulted with so much visual, so much auditory, and, let alone what we're ingesting, that it's really, and experiment. Maybe, it's left hand over right hand, or maybe you want to switch it. There's no right, no wrong. And another tool that I've learned is placing index fingertip to the thumb, that mudra. For whatever reason, it allows me to take a deeper breath Try it out. But give yourself this gift of taking time out for yourself. And it doesn't have to be a long, involved process. We get this idea that, meditation only counts if I sit in a particular position and I do it for X number of minutes to an hour, otherwise it doesn't count. No. Do what works for you. Meditation is simply awareness and bringing yourself into a state of calm. Meditate all the time, doing the dishes. The stream of water, the mindfulness of washing the dishes, the mindfulness of gardening, of decorating, of drawing, of coloring, of singing, of playing the bowls. It's going to look different for everyone, and many different ways of mindfulness, of heartfulness that can bring you back to that place of calm. Tune out that exterior noise. Tune in to yourself for however long you can. A minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Just take time, The practice of pouring a cup of tea, steeping the tea, ceremoniously pouring the tea, and consciously, mindfully drinking it. That's meditation. It can look so many ways. And during this holiday time, this holiday frenzy that we can find ourselves in, it's important to find the little things that can bring you back to a place of calm and nurturing and stillness. And yes, by all means, please do continue. Get outside. Go outside and connect with Mother Earth, connect with nature and breathe it in and feel that support. Remember your grounding to Mother Earth. Remember your connection to the higher cosmos and bringing in the earth energy and the cosmic energy. All of that stillness that allows you to connect with your higher wisdom. To all these beautiful, supportive, angelic, celestial, galactic beings that are here to support us and guide us. But we have to be still long enough in order to receive the messages. And remember, messages come in so many different forms. It's not always a clear, it's song lyrics, it's overhearing a portion of a conversation, it's a book that you pop open the pages and there's just the perfect guidance you were looking for. It's so many things. And our animal kingdom, nature, always is giving us messages through the birds, through the animals. We just need to be observant and allow ourselves to receive the guidance. And do ask for it. Because remember, there's this thing called free will. And they are beloved beings, our guardian angels, our birth angels, our guides. They're not going to interfere. We want to invite them. We want to ask them. And then they can provide. So remember that. Ask for assistance from other beings and our other beings. And the universe will always provide. It may not look like how you think it should, but the universe will always provide what is for the highest and greatest good. Okay, I think I am going to go ahead and check in with an oracle card deck, see if my spirit team wants to say anything else. And yeah. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And again, if you're in the Kansas City area, remember Wednesday evenings at 6:30, I do on a donation basis, open to the public, a little sound bowl session, 6:30 to about 7:15, and you can sign up for that at waltmeyertherapy.com/classes. There's still space available for tomorrow's session, so love to see you there if you can make it. It's a powerful, wonderful way of just relaxing and releasing, and we all need that moment of calm and clarity, don't we? I think so. Remember, tune in, tune out, tune that out, tune in to here. For the highest, greatest good. Who wants to talk? I knew that. That was the image I saw as I closed my eyes, was the wisdom of Avalon, Colette Baron Reed. So yes. And this just reminds me, I am just so loving watching all the birds and the animals and the magic. It is truly magical to watch nature and be a part of it and believe in magic. The lyrics just came in of, oh, it's magic, you know. There's magic all around us. And there's nothing like that glistening snow to remind us of that, you know? Gratitude. Gratitude is magic. Because what was coming in, as I said, snow, is like, yeah, I know there's a lot of people who don't like the snow. But it is always the first snow that is the most enchanting. And a lot of you don't live in areas that get snow either. So, I know I lived in California for 30 years, and, we had to go up to the mountains to see snow. Coming back to the Midwest, it really has been quite interesting. Some years easier than others. I love this, snow's okay. It's the ice that I get kind of weary of, but, to each their own. And let's see, any further messages, any guidance to assist us during this transformational shift that is happening, to help keep us grounded, to stay open to receiving? How beautiful. The wind fairy. Thoughts, words, intellectual analysis. The guides of the fairy. It's the air, the element of air, and being aware of the messages that flow in. The messages can come in as just a thought, a knowing, a breeze that touches your cheek. The higher wisdom, it's very ethereal, it's very light-filled. Intellectual analysis, by that I am going to take critical thinking skills. That remembering that thoughts become things. So be very mindful of what you're thinking, of where you're focusing your energy. Words are spell casting. So what words come out, we can manifest. So be mindful with your words. And as always, use your critical thinking skills, your ability to discern truth from fiction, the ability to come into resonance. And the image that came in is the wind fairy, is all about the resonance and going with the flow. No need for resistance. What is it? Be like glass. Allow it just go through you. It's when we put up a resistance that we tense up and things get stuck. Allow to flow through so you release. Nice. Let me see if there was anything else that Colette had to say about. Yeah, pretty much what we already said. Observe your thoughts. Be mindful. Continue to choose in the moment. Choose love over fear. Continue to choose unity over us versus them and separateness. Continue to choose that which is of the higher vibration, because each time you do, it sends a little out to the collective and it raises the vibration, it raises our frequency. The more of us who continue to consciously choose in the moment, to choose the higher frequency, the higher consciousness, the unity consciousness. The more of us who do that, the faster that timeline is going to rise to meet us there. Because that timeline's there. Always choose the highest timeline for the highest good of original organic source. But keep choosing. Watch how you talk to yourself as well, the thoughts and the words. let go of any self-incriminations or judgments. That just hurts. Let him go. Speak words of love and compassion and forgiveness to yourself. Fill yourself up with that love and that forgiveness and that joy and that creativity, that spark of divine. Focus on that which brings you that joy. That's what this season is about. It's about joy, it's about love, it's about unity. So let's focus on that. The rest is going to play out regardless. We just don't have to put our energy there. We can send it love and all that, but let's focus and ride the wind, going with the flow, gaining that higher perspective, and using our higher intelligence, our higher wisdom, our higher self to come into our heart, to speak only love and truth. All right, I think I'm going to end it there. I will probably check in with you later. Please nurture yourself, take care of yourself. Know how much you are loved and what a precious gift you are. Go take a look in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself how precious you are and how much you love yourself. And take it in. Because those are powerful words, those are powerful thoughts, and those will move mountains. The preciousness in me recognizes the preciousness in you. Blessings be, dear ones. Namaste.